June 13th, 2019, a day that will live in infamy for the Golden State Warriors franchise. Klay Thompson was down after going up for a dunk in the NBA Finals Game 6. They had the Toronto Raptors on the ropes, and Klay Thompson was doing everything that he can to help force a Game 7 and to try and keep the season of the Golden State Warriors alive. But then, Klay lands awkwardly on his knee, and he is down. He is brought out of the game, but comes back in to make a free throw, ensuring that if he is fine enough to come back to the game, that he can return. We see an image of Klay Thompson making those free throws on a bad leg, and then coming out of the game and heading back to the tunnel. And little did we know that that was the last we were going to see Klay Thompson play basketball for 2.5 years. This would ultimately lead to the Golden State Warriors being out of the finals picture for at least a season, with Steph Curry having to carry the team after Kevin Durant left the Golden State Warriors as well. And Steph Curry really couldn't do it because of the fact that Klay Thompson wasn't there, Draymond Green wasn't playing up to his expectations, and Steph Curry was actually injured and broke his hand, being out for the majority of that season as well. Klay Thompson spent this season rehabbing and recovering from that ACL injury, and people were not worried because at the end of the day, Klay Thompson could still come back and be Klay Thompson. And he was very anxious to get back to the game of basketball, being seen on the sidelines, really having a difficult time dealing with the emotions of not being in the game. But then, leading up to the 2021 NBA season, Klay Thompson is getting ready to make his NBA comeback. But then, tragedy strikes in a way that it never really seems to do up to this level in the NBA. And Klay Thompson unfortunately tore his Achilles in a freak accident in practice. The two worst injuries that you can get as a player in the game of basketball are a torn ACL and a torn Achilles. It was a question if Klay Thompson could come back and be the same level of player that he once was, coming off of the two worst injuries right back to back. I mean, his conditioning was going to be a question. His athleticism was going to be a question. Will he be the same defensive player? That is a valid question, but also, will he be anything other than just a three-point shot? Because at the end of the day, injuries cannot kill your jump shot. Sorry, Markelle Fultz. But this didn't stop Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson has been more motivated than ever to come back to the game of basketball, and he has been working each and every day to make it back to the game. In fact, last week, Klay Thompson participated in his first full practice since tearing his Achilles in November of 2020. And this man's coming out here balling, looking like Jackie Moon, and he looks like he is the same old Klay Thompson. People in practice are talking about how impressive Klay looks and how he definitely looks like the Klay of old, and now he has reached a big milestone, being assigned to the Bay City Warriors in the G League alongside James Wiseman, getting ready to have enhanced practices and more rehab work, and this is a big step in Klay's return. We could be seeing Klay Thompson on the NBA court in time for Christmas Day. Now, over the past few years, we've seen guys return from injury with the likes of John Wall, with Kevin Durant, with a lot of other guys that have come through these types of injuries, and most times they do not come back the same. However, with the kind of person Klay Thompson is, with the kind of drive he has, and the kind of game that he plays, I am more than confident that he can come back and be just as good of a player, if not better, than he was before his injuries. And the terrifying thing is that as of this recording, the Golden State Warriors are currently at 17-2. They are at 17-2 without Klay Thompson, and so they are not going to have to put on pressure for Klay Thompson in order to succeed. They're really going to be able to just put him into the system, ask him to do what he does, and if he doesn't perform right away, they have other guys that can come in and alleviate that issue, and they can still pass the ball, they can still defend at an effective level, they can still shoot the three at an elite level, and Steph Curry is playing the best basketball of his life, and that is only going to help Klay Thompson. I don't know if it'll be right away, but I do know for a fact that I believe that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry could win a championship together as soon as this June. What do you think of Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors' chances this year? I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And that is going to do it for today's video, and I will catch you next time from Half Court. Be sure to subscribe.